Hi there and welcome everyone. This is Lavender Sky Panther with you on Monday, October 7th, 2024 for a little card reading today. Actually one of two. I'm going to release another one later on. This one is just going to be done in the spirit of, good, loving, harmonious spirit of calling whatever might be good for the collective to hear right now, right here and right now. And the second video that'll come out later is going to be done with intention for anyone who wants to join in, just to kind of focus all good energies on how to kind of help dissipate the storm, if you will, the storm/hurricane that'll be brewing in the Gulf of Mexico, and just trying to put all good energies on it to make it the most harmonious and, least amount of damage and harm to anyone that it encounters, that kind of a thing. So for right now, though, let's just hop back into this little reading. It's going to be pretty quick. I just pulled some cards to get at kind of just what is the overall message for the collective we need to hear today. Then, as you can see in the little foreground there, I've got once again, the 50 Plants That Heal deck. And we'll just pull a few of those and read the back sides of those. And then otherwise, I did go ahead and make the spread already. And we'll just jump right into this. So doing this, I have to pull these apart a little bit. This little reading is done like this. So we just have the basic cross form. And then I have some cards I'm going to put to the outside, as clarifiers. And I'm just looking because I thought I had another clarifier, but I don't. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So on the left, we have recent, past, and the center is the right now. And then the recent future coming up is off to the right. Then down below, we have the underlying energies, and I did pull a clarifier card for that. And then above, we have kind of like the overall energies of this reading. So it is going to be pretty simple and straightforward, which is not a bad thing. Right now, when I look at the card that says resolution, we see a little bottle of pressed olive oil in there with stars above. So what I would say is, I kind of want to look at all three together, and then we'll get into it. So we have the center is change with autumnal leaves, also the stars above. And we have motivation with a sunflower, which could be a depiction of the sun, which some say is a star, right? So I've got a heavy star theme, all very good, and happy theme, I would say, because we also have white flowers for purity, and we have the thing motivation. So I don't know if that's supposed to be a badger or a skunk. I'm leaning toward badger, but whatever. Either critter is fine. It's just got a good mood to it. But more importantly is the colors on it depicted as black and white. So, we'll get into what that might mean too. So for right now, I would just say that we're looking at, there are many possible resolutions to anything happening in your life in the current, given moment, any given moment, and for the world at any given moment. There's also change for us individually or for the entire world. That's just how universal laws of nature work. These leaves don't just stay green all of the time. They change color. They fall off and new ones spring from it. New life springs from those branches. And then we have motivation. So no matter what is going on through the change, we will need motivation after kind of the leaves fall, so to speak, to come back in with new energies and a rebirthing of the new beginning to follow on the other side of the change, the natural progression of what comes after the change. So not to belabor this too much, the crux of this, the core of this is that, there are many solutions to an issue, and we can be resolved to find resolutions for things. And that can take any number, of forms. We've got a whole bunch of possibilities. And the fact that they're shown with stars represents that they're all going to be successful and rewarding outcomes, no matter what we choose, if we put good intention behind them. Then as we go through change, we know is inevitably going to come. It's how well and with what grace we can style and grace we can ride through that change. And if we know there are many possibilities, there's just not ever one solution to get attached to, and that we can always change our mind or, move into a different resolution if one doesn't seem to be working or flowing. We have many things to choose from, and we have an ever-expanding imagination and creativity. We have all the seeds within us of what we need to do anything at any time. So we'll be able to adapt and change, with in beautiful glowing colors. And then where our motivation, yes, it sometimes takes a lot for us to pull that up to bring it. However, if we are in a natural flow state and know that there's something bigger than our just little physical bodies and our brains, and we know we can tap into the heart space and the all there is, way out even into like the cosmos level, it's ever expanding. We know that, we have everything that we need. Even if we're not feeling it in the moment, things are not black and white. There is always that in-between area. Even this little badger or skunk is sitting in between two flowers. So it's just like, no worries. Nothing is carved in stone, set in stone, carved in stone, that we must do one thing or the other to even pick up our motivation, or there's nothing absolutely scripted in stone that the new birth or the new beginning has to be one way or the other. We can take a moment to contemplate in our head, or ideally in our heart, what's the next best way to go forward. So take a rest a moment. You don't have to have instant motivation. Let it come, let it grow, and then again go with the flow with it all. So at the bottom, the underlying energies, well, actually, let me go to the top. Sorry to do that on you, switch it on you. But at the top, we have the overall energies of this thing, our luck. And we have the clover, which is grounded down in the earth, and we have the winged dragonfly, which can also has a close relation with water, but can hover over and move and change about. And so luck is on our side, grounded down in the earth, and luck is always going to fly over us and be with us wherever we go. Then we look to the bottom as we go through this process. The luck is always there, and we've got the lucky stars to reemphasize that. Then at the below, we have the underlying energies, are this beautiful butterfly with a little branch. Again, has a little bit of autumnal tinge to it, talking about transition, what we just mentioned in this card. So change is usually not just abrupt. It takes time, and it has time to transition. And, in the case of the leaves on the tree, of that branch, and also in the case of the caterpillar changing into butterfly or whatever else, changing into moth, it has time to make that transition. It's not just one day caterpillar, you blink, and then it's the butterfly. And the time is, let's just say there's time, and then there's timelessness. And so I'm just talking about the very pedestrian, basic definition of time, because even though we know our spirit within knows no time, knows no bounds, it's just a reference, since we are here in this 3D earth and talking about things. And looking at things like pictures, which are just things captured in a moment in time. But when for the clarifier for transition that I pulled, yet again we have stars. Do you see a nice theme here? Golden stars, which we know is a representation of, happy things, luck, rewards, good things happening. So, and we even have a gold balloon in there. So, which kind of looks like an abstraction of a gold coin if you want. So if those of you are looking for abundance, this is maybe a little more specifically is saying that, okay, wherever you're at right now, you still have something of value within you. Olive oil can be a very important commodity depending on how you're using it. I didn't want to say commodity. It's a living force that's got a lot of nutrition to it and a lot of applications, whether you're cooking with it or using it for other things, for healing. Topically, there's a lot of uses for it. But what I'm just saying is that if this were you, if you're this vessel or me, that's just saying that we have a lot of amazing, powerful gifts within. We're already abundant. Olives grow in abundance. Trees, leaves grow in abundance. And we represent that as well. So I just want to say, this is coming from a point where you already are abundant and complete in and of yourself. However, we also know that we love to expand as human beings and ever create and ever have more abundance if we like. And so, yes, this is saying that it's time for fun, and that's going to bring, naturally bring good things and abundance. And if you're looking for material wealth, sure, that can come in as well. Why not? The arrow's pointing this way, and it's like going off into infinity. So let's just have infinite fun, and that also will naturally bring in positive change, good things coming ahead. If you're working too hard and burnt out, you're going to have zero motivation. So this is a underlying message here, is to be sure to stop a minute. Transition can be tough with the butterfly caterpillar. The butterfly situation, the caterpillar dissolves into no remnants of what it was before, goes through a radical change to become something new and beautiful. So with fun time, it's a reminder to let's kind of break away from how serious that transition and how painful it might be, move on into something more fun, because that's where we're headed. Now we're no longer bound to the ground and we can fly wherever we wish. And, so then really go explore, see the world, from a new perspective. You can, cover much more ground in flight than crawling along at a snail's pace. So now's the time. The lightness is also being called in for, because we've got the lightness of the balloons. Let's, metaphorically or like theoretically in your mind's eye, have a whatever color balloon you want that you can envision. It doesn't have to be one of these three. It can even be a shape. It can be shiny. It can be whatever you want. Maybe right now, just in your mind's eye, imagine what kind of balloon would you love to have in your hand, and that you would love to release and see float into the sky. And it's the spirit of that. It's the spirit of you have enough money that you don't have to worry about releasing your balloon. You can always get another one. That wasn't the only balloon. So just release it in your mind and like run towards the fun, and then fly into a fun time, so that whatever is going to happen coming up after, going through this change, everything going on the horizon, wherever this badger or skunk is looking, it's also looking in the direction, the arrow's looking out. Let's go into the unknown and have fun, right? And bring in some fun energies now. Okay, that's all I'm getting for that for right now. And then we'll go and just, these are actually the back sides of these cards from this deck. The flip side will have some facts about some of these things, or at least the facts presented by this deck. As always, I invite you, anything that I show in here, to go do some digging on your own and research, and go with your own feeling on things. Everything that I put here is just to, again, done in loving, good spirit for the harmonious and highest and best for all. But, it's just coming from my particular view and coming from my particular heart space or mind space. And so I always invite you to do the same with your heart and mind. Go through and find what you feel it out on these things, or research it up on these things, right? To get to your interpretations or your insights as well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, since I can kind of see the back sides, although without really focusing in, I don't know what's what. I'm going to look away and just kind of pull out, let me just see, I'm just going to pull out a couple cards, not really looking. And then I'm going to just kind of throw these out as main topics. And I just really wanted this to be a short read today, so I invite you to investigate further if any of these mean something to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the back side first of each card, and then I'll, zoom in and kind of move slowly over each image so you can have a look, okay? So here we go. First up, actually I'll just say them all. We've got fig, juniper, and mallow coming up. And I'm not going to get into the, specifics on the structure and the growth size and all that. But this is fig, so it's talking about the plant where you can eat the fruit. It says it can, I'll just read a few properties that they say that it can help with. And again, do your own research. And it also depends on your own physical body to make sure you're compatible. But it says it helps in terms of laxative qualities, and that it can help treat constipation. Let's see. It says that it has softening properties, which can help with colds, toward remedying colds, bronchitis, whooping cough, and pneumonia. You can use it externally as, they say, a decoction of the fig, which can be gargled against throat irritations, coughs, and hoarseness, or painful inflammation of the gums and cheeks. It also can maybe assist with, what does it say, encouraging maturation of a dental abscess. So there's lots of uses for this thing and applications. They also show that it can be made into a syrup or a coffee and all kinds of things. So that might be a good thing to look into further if any of that interests you. And then this is just a nice way to show stages of the growth of the fig and the leaves, what they look like. So it's a really beautiful card. This is a nice deck. All right, so, and I'll put the information of the decks I'm using in the description area below as well. All right, now we're going to get to juniper. And let's see. Those are some of the traits of the physical characteristics of the juniper. It says it has a sweet aromatic flavor that smells of resins. And there's some health benefits to it according to them. Again, do your own research. but it says the juniper berries can be a diuretic. Let's see, and it actually even says it can make the urine smell like violets. That's not a bad thing. It smells like a beautiful flower. It can be used as antiseptics for specific things. And let's see, and it can be effective helping as a digestive. Okay, and then let's see, and again, you can use this as an internal thing, a certain decoction, or you can even use it externally. They say as a bath, and they say young branches with a handful of berries and water, add to bath for rheumatism, gout, and rashes. And again, with any of these plant-based suggestions, which are absolutely healthy for most people, just make sure you don't have a specific reaction or anything to it. And you can always test a little on your skin or something before you would go all in. And here's some nice images of what it looks like as it grows and the leaf shape and type and all of that. And there are those berries. And I'm sure there are a lot of other uses for teas and things if you do more digging. Okay, like an herbal tea or other health topical applications. I'm sure you might want to have a look on your own though. And here's the mallow. And let's see. Oh, okay, I will read this. It says that the flowering part has small circular or fruit part composed of many carpels are sometimes called cheeses because the young fruit looks like a tiny wheel of cheese. All right, so then we'll just look to that the leaves and flowers can be used as emollients. And let's see, they can help reduce inflammation and intestine issues, acting as a laxative. It says that you can use it externally to treat many irritations or inflammations. You can also use it as a gargle for certain things. Then they also have it to be used externally. And what do they say here? For aches, pains, or maturation of boils. So there's lots of uses for these beautiful plants. Okay, well, that's just to give you a little bit of maybe a little seed or kernel of inspiration to look into further on some of these things. And what I want to do is maybe pull this card out and just focus again actually on these two from the whole reading. Just a little focus on luck and fun time. And I want to really ramp up the energies of this, really lifting them up like those balloons and that dragonfly in flight. Just to really get us in a very good and positive state of mind, because the next reading I'm going to move into a call for whoever wants to join in, again trying to envision a massive storm weakening and dissipating and dissipating and dissipating so that it harms no life. And so before we get into that mode, I want to ramp us up and keep us as lighthearted and in that fun time state as possible before we move into that. And also just in general. So if you have no interest in joining in on the next video regarding the storm, no problem. Just giving you a little heads up of what's coming. Okay, so for everyone, I wish you tremendous peace and love. As always, Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.